All right, church family, this is Brother Jeff coming to you from yesterday, Saturday, February 27th. And I am here with Chris and Sarah Armstrong, their kids serving in Mexico. And you all remember we got a card from them with this little bookmark. And we have now been in touch with them, and they're going to share with us now a little bit about themselves and their work and how important it is for us as a church here in Oklahoma to be a part of what we do and a part of what they do. So Chris, Sarah, I'll let y'all introduce the clan now. Good to have you.
Thank you so much, Jeff. It's been great to be in touch with you over the last couple of weeks, and we're excited about getting to know your church there in Quinton better. We'll talk more about how appreciative we are of all the Southern Baptist support, but right now we'd just like to start off by introducing our family. My name is Chris Armstrong. This is my wife, Sarah Armstrong, and we've got 3 girls, and then in the back is our hands-on student. She's here working with us in Mexico for the semester. Girls, do you want to introduce yourselves? Ruby, you can go first. Say your name and how old you are.
I'm 4, and my name is Ruby Joy.
Very good. Very good. Go ahead.
I'm Gloria, and I'm 8 years old. And
that's good. Go ahead, Betty.
my name is Betty, and I am 10 years old.
And last but not least,
I'm the hands-on student. I'm Mary Catherine, and I'm 21 years old.
And our family has been serving down here in Mexico. We arrived January 2016. We spent a year and a half learning Spanish in San Cristobal de las Casas in Chiapas, Mexico, the state of Chiapas. And in this early summer, late spring of 2017, we moved here to Tlapa de comonfort Guerrero. And we are on a team with another family here, and we're sharing the gospel to Mixtec people. They're the largest unreached people group in the Americas. So you girls can go ahead and head down.
Awesome. All right. Good to meet all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you, girls. So
Betty,
if you could just elaborate a little bit more about the people group you're working with and what kind of work you're I know it's planting the gospel and planting a church, but what's kind of the practical things you're doing day to day?
you wanna start with that?
Well, we're working with the Mixtec people. They're one of the largest unreached people groups in all of the Americas, and they speak in an indigenous language. So a lot of what we're doing right now to start is we're learning their language. First we learned Spanish, but now we're learning Mixtec. And so that consumes a lot of our time right now. And you can elaborate if you'd like.
Well, Sarah's being modest. Most of her time is taken up doing homeschool and our kids. They're also learning Spanish. Betty and Gloria, they speak pretty well. While we were in language school, they went to a kindergarten there. And so they speak pretty well. Ruby was born here in Mexico City. So we have permanent residency. So we don't have a problem staying in country, which is a huge blessing. Yeah, the Mixtec language is kind of like Chinese. It's a tonal language. This is our second term. So our first term was a little over 4 years. And our teammates, the Glover family, they're from Texas. They were here about 6 months before us. And once we got here, we just started getting the lay of the land. So we spent our first term trying to find out, are there any Christians that are Mixtec, and are there any churches already existing? And we discovered some that we can work alongside and plant churches with, and others that our theology is a little too different to plant churches with, but are great brothers in Christ. And So we've been developing those relationships. That was basically what we spent our whole first term doing, is developing relationships and kind of getting the lay of the land. Now coming into our second term, we have enough mixed tech to be dangerous. We're still spending a lot of time. I spend about 30 hours a week studying the language. We have a teacher that we've met, and he comes over to our house and instructs us. And very shortly, our goal is to start spending time in a mixed tech community. We live in a trade city, which is has various different indigenous populations represented. They come here to buy and sell and go back out into the mountains to their communities.
Mhm.
So there are mixed techs here in Tlapa where we live, but everybody here speaks Spanish, and it's just too mixed of a population to really engage the people group efficiently. And so our goal is to move out to a further community that's just mixed tech only. It's the heart of our language variant, and there are no churches there. We've discovered maybe 2 believers that are in that town that are very new. And so our goal in the next several months is to rent a house out there and start transitioning the families and spending more time out there, doing homeschool out there, living in community out there, and slowly transition our family from Tlapa to the mixed tech community, where we can begin engaging that people group directly with our strategy, which is a combination of kind of a storing type approach, where we're sharing creation to Christ. And then we're breaking that down and working through about 8 lessons that lead up to baptism in the formation of a church. And so our goal would be to plant a church in this mixed tech community that we're about to start transitioning into by the end of this term, Lord willing.
Okay.
That's a little bit about the ministry itself.
Just one quick follow-up. You say the language is similar to Chinese type. So does Spanish even help in this case?
Jeff, that's a great question. The blessing is a lot of the men have they're migrant people, right? So they leave. They don't work in where they live. They leave to go work, and they make money, and then they come home and they stay in community for a while. Then they leave and go work, and they come back. Mainly in the agricultural area of Mexico. They go up north and work in the farms. But so the men have had to learn Spanish because of their jobs. And so a lot of the men, certain parts of the population speak Spanish also, like the teenagers and the school age kids, the public schools that are out there in these communities, the teachers teach in Spanish. And so the younger population knows Spanish. The men who have left to go work know Spanish. The majority of the middle-aged women, older population, they don't speak any Spanish. They speak primarily mixed tech. So both are necessary, but we can, until we get enough mixed tech to where we can use it effectively to share the gospel, we can begin with Spanish. And our mixed tech, the little bit of mixed tech that we do have, really opens that door for relationships, because they see that we care about them, we are invested in them, we're learning their culture, we're learning their language, and that really, more than anything, opens doors for us to get in and share the gospel in Spanish.
Awesome. So that gives us a lot of leads for prayer for you guys, how we can pray. Would you share with my congregation, because I think a lot of times we hear every year, Lottie, Annie, missions, cooperative program, and we are glad to give, we get the prayer guides, but how vital is that? Can you share maybe what you shared a little bit the other day about how it helped with your partner and maybe some other things?
Yeah, I mean, the Lottie Moon and all of the cooperative program, Annie Armstrong, is completely vital to our being here. We wouldn't be here without it. It supports us 100%, and we're so grateful for that. Yeah, if you want to share about Jake? Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah. Man. Well, last term, I was 5 hours out in the mountains in working with our only Baptist convention partner church of 30 people in a place called Dos Rios, and pure Mixtec community. And I got sick, and my teammate Jake drove me. We had to go the long way because the road was closed. I think it took us 12 hours to get back here to Tlapa. I had a fever, rough shape. I laid in bed here for a week, and then finally went to the hospital in Puebla. I was in the hospital in Puebla for 11 days. I got medically evacuated to a hospital in Richmond. When I walked into the ER in Richmond, I was immediately received. I saw 5 specialists within the first half a day I was there. And they were able to diagnose me with lung infection, histoplasmosis, and I made a full recovery. And the logistics and the finances to make all that happen at such a rapid pace is only because of your giving. It's because of Lottie Moon and the cooperative program that we're able to come down here with our families with full confidence that we're going to be taken care of, and we can put it all out there and put it on the line and go to these places that are hard and know that our families can be taken care of if anything happens. Just last week, our whole team had COVID. About 3 weeks ago, it started, and last week my teammate, his mother died while he was sick with COVID, and his condition worsened, and it got into his lungs. And he called me one morning and said, "Brother, I can't breathe. I need to go to the hospital." Our hospital is 4 hours away, the nearest decent medical care. And so we jumped in the car. Within an hour, we were on the road, and we showed up to the hospital. He could not breathe. He was ghost white, sweating. And the IMB, while we were on the road, had already contacted the hospital, made the down payment, got the insurance information, everything taken care of. We showed up, we pulled him out front, said, "I have a COVID patient." They said, "Is it Jacob Glover?" I said, "Yes." They came out, they received him, they got him in immediate care. And 5 days later, he walked out of there. And the doctor said it was a miracle. He's never seen anybody recover as bad as he was. He never seen anybody recover so fast. And that's the kind of support that we have through Lottie Moon. And that means so much to us. I'll just say we have other people that work down here sharing the gospel from other organizations that we cross paths with, so we know, and they're doing great work, but nobody has the support like the Southern Baptists have. And nobody spends more time on the ground sharing the gospel, doing the work, because we don't have to be raising funds back in the States. All of our friends, these people we know, they spend 50% or more of their time dealing with visas and logistics and raising money. We spend about 5% of our time dealing with logistics and visas and 95% of our time sharing the gospel. And that's because of your support. We're so appreciative of that.
Well, amen. Well, Chris and Sarah, thank you so much for your time today, and maybe we can do some more in the future, get some updates, but it's really good to be able to, more than just on the paper here or the bookmark, see you guys and hear you and meet your family. But we will definitely continue to pray for you all and the work you're doing and your teams. And just look forward to keep hearing those updates and seeing the Lord plant a church and start to reach people and expand his kingdom in that part of Mexico. So thank you again for your time. Any last thing to say, or?
Well, we thank you guys so much for all your support, and we look forward to getting to know you better as a church.
Yeah, thank you so much, Quentin. We appreciate your prayers, and man, that's where the heavy lifting's done. We know that, and so we appreciate you, and you're vital. You're vitally important to this ministry, and we thank you. We look forward to getting to know you more.
Amen. Well, church family, hope you enjoyed that, and hope it just kind of gives you a little bit of a spiritual encouragement to keep praying and keep giving to these offerings, and knowing that the Lord is using all that we do, whether we're there on the field or whether we're back here praying for them or giving, or maybe sometimes going like the young woman who's there. from Virginia. We're all a part of helping the kingdom expand on this earth until Christ comes back. So hope you enjoyed that, church family. And again, thanks, Chris and Sarah. We'll be talking with you soon.
All right.
Yay.
Bye. Thank you.